Hello ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, fellow shedheads around the world. Welcome to Captain of My Shed. I'm Captain Mikey, and on this episode I'm going to try and answer a couple of questions for people because I saw on a forum that I follow people asking questions about the cheaper dowel jigs that you can buy or dowel plates you can buy on Amazon and the like. And as fate would have it, I just had one delivered from Amazon, and here it is. And so I thought I would do a quick, not a review really, because I've only had it for 5 minutes, but first impressions and a little test, see if it's worth the money initially, or see if it seems to be worth the money. And if I like it, then I'm going to fit it into my workbench, and I'll show you how I do that as well. £32 from Amazon, which I thought was a pretty good price. You can spend a lot more money on these, and I thought for what is essentially just a block of steel with holes drilled in it, that's not a bad price, and we can't go too far wrong with this product, I wouldn't have thought. It's metric, up to 16 mil, all the way down to 4 mil in millimeter increments, apart from 13, 14 and 15, which also have half millimeter increments. I'm not quite sure why. If you know why, let me know. We're going to give it a quick test with some white oak, see what it can do, and then most likely we'll put it into the workbench. Enjoy the video. I'll see you at the end. Okay, let's jump straight in with a close-up look at this. It's 152mm long, 50mm wide. It's 10mm deep. It has a 4mm deep by 2mm wide lip all around the edge, so you can set it into something. As you can see there, my little test, the edges of the holes are nice and sharp. Each hole has a kind of rebate behind it, so that once your dowel has passed through, it falls through nice and easily. You can just see it there in the shots. I noticed in the 11mm hole there's a little burr you can just about see glinting there, and I'm hoping that that gets knocked out. So here's my square peg, and this is one way to get it into a round hole. Just bash it with a mallet. And basically all I'm doing here is taking off the corners, and then I'll go down through the diameters until we're completely round. This is one way to go about it. Now you can see how nice and sharp the whole edges are. We're getting lovely continuous shavings coming off this piece. And obviously it's going to take some use before I can say how well these holes are going to hold their edges. But I'm happy with this so far. It's nice that it's sharp out of the box. Whoa, look at that big shaving. I don't know why big shavings are exciting, but yeah. I guess it's the satisfaction of using a sharp tool. This is the last hole we'll hammer this piece through, and we're getting pretty close to round now. This is the 11mm hole, and as I'm bashing that through, a little piece of that burr that was stuck in there falls out, which is nice. A hole within a hole. And that's it. Nice and round, pretty straight. And this is another technique that I've seen used. You could do this with a square rod as well. Just make sure you make the diameter of the end smaller than the hole that you're about to drill it through. It takes a little bit of pressure to get started, and then once you get started, you're underway. This is probably a better, more accurate way. You end up with a much straighter, more consistent dowel this way. Now, quick check for accuracy. That was the 10mm hole, and we're getting a dowel about 9.8mm. So just as a comparison, I used my Axminster plug cutter set just to cut a 9.99 millimeter plug. It's pretty accurate, and you can see this is the dowel from the dowel plate, and it's a decent fit, but it has got a little bit of play. It would be serviceable as a plug in perhaps not the finest of furniture, but you can see by comparison the actual plug is a really tight fit. So I'd say it's serviceable as a finishing plug, but it's ideally used as intended as a dowel. So just measure these holes up with the calipers there. I couldn't show it all on camera, but basically the bigger holes down to, well, all of these holes on this side are about 0.2 of a mil smaller than advertised. I suppose this makes some sense. If you're making a dowel, you don't want it to be bang on the hole size. You do want it to be ever so slightly smaller. And 0.2 of a mil is probably sensible once you get a little bit of glue swelling in there. I think that's acceptable. And then we've got by 11 it comes down to 0.1 of a mil until we get to, I think it was 7. It's bang on. 7 all the way down to 4. Actually 5 was 5.1, which is not amazing, but everything else was bang on. So yeah, I'm pretty pleased with that. It's quite usable. It's obviously nice and sharp. It gives a relatively straight dowel. I mean, depending on how you use it, you can probably get straighter. It looks worse on camera than it does in real life, but that's for me, that's acceptable. So would I recommend this? Well, I can't really recommend it, having only used it the once, and you've seen me use it on camera. But what I can say is my first impression is pretty good. It seems accurate enough. It works. It does what it's supposed to do. And yeah, it's easy to use. That was oak I was using as well, white oak. So that, I would imagine, would have more tendency to splinter than a lot of other woods. Can be quite brittle, but it's done a decent job. So I'm going to fit it to the bench. Stick around if you want to see me do that. Can't even see it. Right, I don't know what you guys think, but I think that's a dead tidy addition to the bench. Yeah, pretty simple to do. Obviously, I messed up and had to fix it, but you can't see the fault anymore. That's nice and hidden. Looks lovely, and I'm chuffed with the overall result. Looks pretty cool. Kind of fits the aesthetic of the bench, which is a bit sort of old and worn and well used. Managed to find some slot head screws that fit the look. Same as in the bench stop here. Yeah, happy days. Another little project done. For now, thanks for watching. Take care, and I'll see you next time.